Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Right, so today we're going to have a look at Jeremy Bamber's astrology and see if this is a miscarriage of justice. Well, it is. I don't know if you can see his chart there. It's more, I've put it up more for me so I can read the chart. So, yeah, this is the White House farm case. And Jeremy Bamber's been in prison for 41 years. But I read the prosecution statement and I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life. I mean, to read that prosecution statement, I mean, it should be actually sent and sectioned under the Mental Health Act 1983. It's ridiculous. You know, when I've done previous readings about the bike theory, it doesn't make sense. And I will show you why it doesn't make sense when I start reading his chart. I mean, the thing is, with this bike, yeah, it's really going to use the slowest, the noisiest form of transport known to man to commit a violent crime. Not. He's not going to do that. No one's going to do that. It's stupid. The thing is, the problem with the system, they don't think like criminals. They don't even think like normal human beings. This is a problem. You know, they've just lost all touch, all sense of reality. It's ridiculous. Right, so let's look at his chart. Right, so with Jeremy Bamber, he's got a combining. I'm looking at these combining Aries rising. There. And with his 10th house, looking at his mannerisms, because of the ascendant in Aries, the ascendant's always about how the way you look to other people, how you present yourself to other people. But combining that with his stellium, his Capricorn stellium in the 10th house, the 10th house is to do with authority figures. He's got 4 planets there. Mercury, the Sun, Saturn and Jupiter. So what this means is he will come across his mannerisms. He looks defiant the way he comes across. He looks controlled. And he will act strangely as well under pressure. But what it is, it's the emotional exterior that he's creating because of these placements. So with Aries people, they've got a reactive, what I call a reactive face. So when we've seen him smirk when he got arrested, and then when he was later sent down, he smirks. So people are going to look at him and think, well, he's guilty. He's done, you know, he's done the crime. He's guilty. But that's his outward personality, his traits. Doesn't mean to say he's guilty. Right, so with this 10th house, this is all to do with authority figures, which makes him look guilty when he actually isn't. And also with the 10th house, he's been defined by the public story, because the 10th house is to do with public as well. So he ends up carrying the weight of all of this, you know, family tragedy, when he hasn't even done anything. Right, and then we go on to the moon in Sagittarius in the 8th house. So what this means is his emotional life, it's been tied to crisis, death and shared finances, because that's what the 8th house is, to do with crisis, death, trauma and shared finances. Now they said he'd done the crime to get the inheritance, but I mean that's all bullshit, because you don't just automatically get an inheritance. They've got other members of the family who are still living. So he wouldn't have automatically got the whole lot. Other family members would have got it. So why didn't he do them in? So this is where it all goes wrong. Right, so that's that. Yeah, so he'll get, and it's also, the 8th house is to do with loss. So he's, you know, all this tragedy, he's lost his freedom, he's lost his family, he's lost everything. Right, and then we go into the Mars in the 4th house, to do with family. Now this actually, Mars in the Cancer in the 4th house, this actually makes him protective of the family. He would actually, with this case, he would be actually helping the police in the case. Take the phone call, for instance. He called the police, didn't he? Him waiting outside the farmhouse. Cancer people are overly helpful, especially with that Mars being in the 4th. See, all this doesn't add up to him doing this. So by the time we get all through that, all this helpfulness, it raises suspicion to the police. And then, because he's got that watery Cancer, Mars in the 4th house, all these false accusations would have shattered him. It would have devastated him. Right, so then we go on to Venus in the 12th house in the sign of Pisces. I mean, you can't get more loving and caring star sign, Pisces, in Venus. You can't get anything more caring and kind. But the problem is, it's blocked in the 12th house. So it governs institutions, the 12th house. So he's in prison, isn't he? That's an institution. And then with the Venus in the Pisces in the 12th house, they end up getting blamed for something they haven't even done. And then people judge them, you know, the police, the system. He gets judged, gets wrongly accused. There's too many misunderstandings of him as a person. So, you know, and also he gets judged by its expressions. So we go back to Aries rising, and then we've got the stellium in the 10th house of institutions and public. So we've done all that anyway, haven't we? sorry, not institutions, I said institutions, didn't I? Institution is the 12th house, so what I meant to say was authority figures for the 10th house. Right, so then we go into, he's got Pluto in Virgo in the 6th house, but it's conjunct the North Node. So that's the North Node is to do with our past life connections. So what this means is it's karmic to the system. So he's in the system, isn't he? So what happens here, the system is the institution, and because it's in Virgo in the 6th house, it's to do with forensic processing. This is another reason why he's been in there for so long. And what happens there, he just becomes swallowed in the system. That's what happens. So his fate, really, basically his fate is tied to procedures, evidence, paperwork and official narrative. Because that's to do with paperwork, evidence, procedures, that's to do with Pluto, 6th house, Virgo. So we've done that. And you know, this, what happens with this, it just makes him wrongly accused because of the karmic Pluto and North Node there conjunct. This actually makes him a person that's wrongly accused and ends up in prison for a crime he didn't even commit. It's ridiculous. So then we'll go on to the actual truth coming out now. So I've already said about the 10th house of the public and authority figures. So with this Capricorn, Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn in the 10th house, this is his public story. This is what's happened to him, his public story. And this has formed in his early life. I think he was only about 24, weren't he, when he got convicted. So that all that becomes rigid, and then what happens later in life, it all cracks open. So it doesn't remain the same. And then Saturn brings in the late correction. So this has got to be corrected. And also Saturn rules Capricorn. So Saturn also rules time and justice. So he will get it. It'll take time, but he'll get the justice. So with Capricorn in the 10th house, you know, experiences years of being defined by false accusations, which has happened to him, hasn't it? And then it shifts. Once the structure changes, that all shifts. So then we get the truth coming out. So then we go back to Pluto, conjunct North Node, Virgo in the 6th house. So this is the karmic tie with the systems, institutions and the forensic side. So this is what will get him out as well. It's a tiny detail that will get him out, because Virgo is very precise. So it'll be a tiny little detail that somebody's missed that will get him out. It's not the obvious. That's what I'm saying. It's not the silencer. You know, it's not any. I don't think it's anything to do with anything in that farmhouse. It's it's nothing to do with that silencer. Right. So yeah. So Pluto will start turning, and once it starts turning, it's going to be the catalyst for the correction. It's Virgo's truth. It's through detail. It's a tiny little detail that comes out. Somebody's missed all these years. And Pluto is for truth, through depth. So someone's looked at this case in depth, and the truth will come out. So this shows Bamber's fate is all tied to the actual exposure of flaws in the institutional logic, because there isn't any logic. If you go online and read that prosecution statement, there's no logic in it at all. When I read it, I laughed my head off, because it's ridiculous. The whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, he's got Mars trine Venus here in the 4th and the 12th house. And what this does, this makes him a very, very soft and gentle person. Not the outward stern looking, the smirk, the nervous humour. This is a trine, Mars trine Venus. This makes him soft, gentle, and to me, I've done astrology for years, and I've only seen that trine once. This is one of the least violent Mars aspects you can get in astrology. He cares for people. He'd care for his family. He'd protect his family. So what I'll do, I'll do another reading on it, and what I'll do predictions for the next one. Alright, take care, bye for now.